Greetings, Temple Beth Shalom. Rabbi Boxt here with Parshat HaShavua. This week we actually have two Torah portions, Parshat Chukat, which is Numbers 19:1 through 22:1, and Parshat Balak, which is 22:2 through 25:9. So let's look at the outlines of each of these two portions. So the outline for Chukat, there's three main sections of this Torah portion. The first section is the red cow ritual after contact with a corpse. There's instructions for handling the red cow and rituals after contact with a corpse, human bones, or a grave. Second section is the deaths of Miriam and Aaron. Miriam's death, Moses and Aaron both punished, the fateful incident at Meribah, failed negotiations with the king of Edom, and Aaron's death and Eleazar's succession as a chief priest. And then towards the journey end, that's the third section, successful battle against the king of Arad, further complaints from the people, the itinerary of travel and Israel's song, and then successful political negotiations and military victories. And we'll get back to that a little bit more specifically in just a moment, but I want to give you the outline of Parshat Balak as well. So there's, again, three sections. The first section is Balak hires Balaam to curse Israel. So it begins with Balak's invitation to Balaam, the story of the talking she-donkey, and then Balaam's arrival in Moab. Second section is Balaam's oracles and Balak's responses. Balaam's first oracle and Balak's response, Balaam's second oracle and Balak's response, Balaam's third oracle and Balak's response, and then Balaam's fourth oracle. And then there's the third section, which is the apostasy at Baal Peor, Israel's flirtation with foreign women and idolatry, and Pinchas's vengeance. So let's go back to Parshat Chukat. The cow ritual after contact with a corpse. So the parsha begins with God's instructions for creating a water-based mixture called water of nidah, or lustration. The reader learns in verse 9 that the mixture is an antidote for specific contaminations that trigger the need for purification. These includes human corpses, human bones, or a grave. The red of the cow, that reinforces the use of blood in the aiding of the purification. The cow, the present offering, is intended for individual use, and it calls for a female of the herd, without blemish, tamimah, which could also be translated as faultless. It signals that the animal is suitable for sacrifice. So there's instructions on how to handle the red cow, what you're supposed to do with how you bring it into the camp from outside the camp, how the cow is to be burnt, and what portions of the cow to be burnt, and what specifically is to be done with all of the different sections of the cow. And this is a very long section that just really goes into very specific detail. Then we have the deaths of Miriam and Aaron. And Miriam has one of the strangest and most unusual deaths in the entire Bible, in the fact that she dies, and the community is ordered basically to nothing. The Israelites arrive in a body at the wilderness of Sin on the first new moon, and the people stayed at Kadesh. Miriam died there and was buried there. And then it immediately goes into the quarrel between Moses and the people regarding water. There's no explanation as to what happens after her death. And it's disheartening if nothing else, but it's also a little bit it's very strange, and a lot of discussion has been had over the years as to why there wasn't any mourning period for her at all. And for the sake of this session, let's just say that it was strange, and there's a lot to talk about at a different time. Let's go on to one of the most well-known sections of the entire Bible. This is Balak, the Moabite king, hires Balaam, I don't want to call him a sorceress, but a sorcerer, but that's kind of what he is. He's invited to Balak, and the message that he gets is, there's a people that came out of Egypt. It hides the earth from view and is settled next to me. Come then, put a curse upon this people for me, since they are too numerous for me. Perhaps I can thus defeat them and drive them out of the land, for I know that he whom you bless is blessed indeed, and he whom you curse is cursed. So, goes back and forth. Balaam says no. Balak says, what? Yes, please come. Balaam says no. It goes back and forth a few times. And there's this very strange episode where Balaam is on a she-donkey, and he hits the she-donkey. The she-donkey stops, and he hits the she-donkey with his staff, because he doesn't understand, he being Balaam, doesn't understand why this donkey has stopped. Well, there's an angel in front of the donkey that only the donkey can see. And at one point, the donkey turns around to Balaam, with the help of God, of course, and says, what have I done to you that you have beaten me these 3 times? And Balaam says, you have made a mockery of me. If I had a sword with me, I'd kill you. And then the donkey says back, look, I'm the donkey that you've been riding all along until this day. Have I been in the habit of doing this to you? And the answer was no. And so then God uncovers Balaam's eyes, and he sees the angel standing in the way. And it's just a very, very funny situation. But what I want to do is I want to just get to the part where Balaam is called to curse on the Jews, and what he finally says, one of the most important texts in the entire Torah, and it also is a something that we say every time we gather on a Saturday morning, and those words are, I'm going to find them in Hebrew. He says to the Jews, as he's looking over their, he's looking over the ledge at the people in the desert. He says, Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov. How wonderful are these tents, O Jacob. This is from the mouth of a non-Jew. And we say this at every service, every Saturday service. Just want to say it's important even to be blessed by those outside of our community. I want to end with that and say I wish you an early Shabbat Shalom.